I guess it's kind of funny. The earliest memory I have goes back to when I was 6 years old. I'm not sure where my parents had to go, but we had to stay with my grandparents for the night, and didn't seem all too bad because my cousin was there and she was much older than us. As it got late, when it was time for bed, went and laid down. I got to sleep with my cousin. Fantastic. She was 18, my big cousin. No sooner that everybody went to bed, she started having me touch her in ways that wasn't right. Started touching me. And all the time she's whispering and going, "No, it's okay, this is what we do." I was so scared and shaking, I didn't know what to do. Once again, we found ourselves where we would have to stay with family members. My parents had to take my older brother to Texas for open heart surgery, because that was the only place they did it, and this time we were going to be staying with my mom's mom. And I figured things wouldn't be so bad. No sooner than we got there, it became horrible for everything that I was going through already. I was made to stay by a closet in the hallway, and that little hallway only had a view of half the television, and here I was made to stay by there. I wasn't allowed to move. When it was time to eat, I was usually told to sit within the closet door and wait till everybody was done, because there was no room for me to sit at the table. And when everybody was done eating and my mom's mom was headed to bed, I asked her if, I could have something to eat. I was so hungry, my stomach was turning, I was nauseous. Felt like I was gonna puke. She stops, she looks at me, gets me up, takes me into the kitchen, and on the table was what was left of chicken. Usually it was the grisly, fatty part when nobody would eat. And let's not forget the wonderful bread she pulled out of the trash and said, "Hey, we can't let it go to waste." So I sat there and ate that, along with the milk that somebody left on the table. And one day, I remember she went across the street to the bar that she worked at as a waitress. Came back with candy and soda pop for everybody. But as she was passing me in the hallway, I asked her, "Grandma, did you get me candy or Coke?" She looked at me, spit out this mouthful of sunflower seeds and said, "Eat that." How could your grandmother treat her grandson that way? I didn't realize how much it affected me until I was in junior high and trying to deal with all of this, and my brothers joined church, the youth group. My parents got involved with that. I was excited because I saw how happy things were going for them. Couldn't get involved with the youth group because, well, I was too young. But they said I could be an altar boy. That was good. I got into it, started, being an altar boy at church. I was kind of happy, and going into my 8th grade year that summer, my mom said that they had called from the church that we had an altar boy meeting. I was excited. I went. The man that ran it took me into the room where we had our meetings. No sooner the door shut, he grabbed me and he raped me. I couldn't even speak. Words wouldn't come out of my mouth. When it was done, I turned and I looked at him. I'd never seen so much hatred. So much discontent. After that is when I started trying pot for the first time. Going into my senior year in high school. 4 months before graduation, I'm just living it up because, hey, who cares? I'm nothing. Ended up in a fight with an ex-friend of mine, and I hurt him really bad. All the anger that came out from everything I had lived through, I took out on him. And just when things started seeming like everything was going good, it was like I got punched upside the head. When a little while after, I ended up having a stroke. And yeah, by seeing me, you don't know that I had to learn how to walk, talk, read, write, everything all over again. And I mean, how much more can a man ask for? He has his family. Things are going good. Go 21 years later, we're sitting on the back deck of my house, proud because now we have our grandchildren. We have a granddaughter that was just born. Next morning, here comes that proverbial 2x4 once again, right upside the head when my wife asked for a divorce. A divorce I did not want. I meet this remarkable woman. I call her Shannon, my Shannon. She asked me, go to church with us. Church, right. Then one night we were laying in bed, hurting from my RA, and I start to rub my arm, and I'm going like this, and just rubbing, and I felt this lump. Freaked me out. Went to see my doctor, and they stopped all my rheumatoid arthritis medication. Started testing me for lymphoma. Within a couple of days, I got a phone call from the doctor. It turns out I had kidney cancer. So they have to do surgery. Now I go through the surgery. When I go back for the results, I did have kidney cancer and now lymphoma together. Things didn't work out the way they were supposed to. Not with Shannon and I, but where I was going to stay, I ended up not having a place to stay. Living out of my car. But that's all right because my Shannon still loved me. My kids were here. And I knew I was going to make it. And I hear in my head, bring her to me. I knew what I had to do. That morning, like clockwork, Shannon calls me up. And I told her, how would you like to go to church? And you would have thought she would have won $1 million. And she was like, and then she goes, what church? And I said, your church. And she said, okay, and we went. Now, I know I've heard that they say that Satan does not like to lose anybody and he will get angry. That night I was asleep and I start hearing these stupid thoughts in my head. Why are you going to church? They don't want you there. If God was there, why did you go through everything you did when you were growing up? You're worthless. You don't need this. And this time, I actually picked up my cell phone and I texted Shannon, like almost instantly. She says, you're being attacked. Starts sending me scriptures. I start reading them out loud. Start rebuking Satan. And the whole time he's sitting there saying, look at you trying to pray, you haven't prayed. I know I was a Christian, I said in my head. I went to church. I've received communion. I do the Lord's Prayer. That's not enough. And again, my text goes off. Shannon sends me another scripture. I read it out loud, and again, what do you think you're trying to prove? You do not belong to anyone. Nobody wants you. You're in a car. And then finally, silence. No text, no words. And right before the sun came up, I felt this warmth over me. And this came into my head, and it said, "You're mine. I created you." No doubt in my mind, that was my God. That is my God who put me here for a reason. It is my God that I will bring to my family. It is my God that I will teach my grandchildren about. And my soon-to-be granddaughter that's going to be born soon. I know I'm not alone. I know my God gave me my family. I know my God gave me my life. And who am I to deny my God? And it's with Him that I will let Him use me in any way He wants. My name is Stephen Arrelin, and I am second.